I'm pulling from the void. I'm making nothing. I'm putting it onto a canvas and I'm eliciting emotions. I bailed out with $1 million bail, courtesy of my bail bondsman, which like came from heaven.
Welcome back to another episode of the Austin is Zaback show. Today we have Jay Valentine on the show, and Jay is an artist. He reminds me of like Alec Monopoly or somebody like that. But dude, you're a freaking legend, bro. You've done a lot of the art for $1 Million Listing.
Thank you.
I know you know like Josh Altman and a lot of those guys. And
yeah.
You've done artwork for Jamil Damji and Cody Sperber, and like, dude, you're freaking all over the place.
Yeah, let me keep going with it too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Let's keep going.
Dude, you have artwork, I think, like in Dubai. You've got artwork like all over the world.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia, Dubai. Some rappers like Tyga, Molly Mall, some like Molly Mall's like a real like underground rapper name. So like all like the Migos and them spit his name because he kicked off a lot of good songs out there.
Yeah, I'll have to like Jacob. We'll have to like throw up like for people watching. If you're listening to this, go to YouTube at the Austin Zaback Show. I'm gonna have Jacob throw up a couple of pictures of some of Jay's artwork. So we'll pop that up on the screen. I wanna show people an example, dude, because you just did one for Jamil recently, which is really dope. You know, his dog passed away.
Yeah.
And I saw that, dude. That was a dope piece of art.
Yeah, it was such a genuinely good gesture too. I felt so moved by it, so it hit home. Like I was able to paint it effortlessly.
Yeah.
So it came out really good.
Is a lot of your artwork that way? Like, you know, do you like? Are there certain things that you paint that aren't as effortless? Like they're more difficult for you, and then other things come easier?
More difficult ones are when it's a memorial for, a loved one. So if it's like, oh, my wife passed away or it's my mom, I get very cautious with it because you want to paint it really good. So
yeah.
I put a lot of pressure on myself because I can always knock it out, but it's always good to kind of challenge myself and don't always whisper to my ear like, hey, you're not as good as you think, But then I love that challenge of screaming back to myself saying, yes, I am.
Yeah. I love that, dude. I think that's really powerful,
Mm-hmm.
So how did you get into like painting, because like, I mean, were you good at it growing up, like as a kid or?
Oh, okay. So here's a cool thing. So I was all into comics and drawing, pencil, no painting, no color, nothing. I hated colors and painting. And then my son, long story short, my son was coming around, and my wife's like, hey, your son's coming around, and we need to start stepping it up. And like, okay, and it's like, well, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna continue being in financial aid and do the whole like salesman life, or am I going to be this artist? And
Yeah.
I'm in that financial aid place and just sketching, and people would walk by, my coworkers, and they're like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I just wasn't that confident in myself, And then, anyway, I tried out for Marvel and DC and didn't get it. And I was super bummed out. And so I started, my wife got me into a college, just community art college, and since we were in financial aid, we knew how to fill out the FAFSA and do everything correctly, so I streamlined right into a couple of art classes and just did that.
Dang.
Yeah, and did that, and I loved it. Met a really good art teacher, and I was doing that for 4 years. And the big problem there was just like, am I going to keep painting like a like a camera, am I going to paint something to look just like a picture,
Yeah.
And then I'm in Arizona. I'm from Arizona, very cynical. So the thought is, well, then why am I going to spend $3,000 on a painting when I can just get a picture for a cent?
Right.
So that was always in my head. So I needed to figure out my own style, and it was just the whole color thing.
I love that. Yeah. And like what would you call that? Like the pop culture, like you have it's very unique.
Yeah, it's a Leroy Neiman style, like right off the bat. The artist from the Rocky movies, and he used a palette to bring out these really high colors. And so, I didn't really get into that yet. So I was just doing oil painting. So that's what I was in love with. And oil painting took a very long time to sell a painting. You know, with the time I spent, it's too much.
Wow.
You don't build a thing, and I didn't know how to sell my work. So I got into an art marketing class. Boom, done. I was done. I was like, no more art school. It's time to go out in the field
Yeah.
because this guy taught me crazy stuff. The art of trading, trade your art, selling your art, you know, doing a both. Like the mantra of sometimes a trade is more valuable than the cash in hand.
Yep.
You know, and I'm living it all the time, you know.
Yeah.
And so I was actually then brought into being an artist by facing a 25 to life situation. All right. So I'm from Arizona, and I went to California to go participate in an art show, come back, and this crazy homeless guy was trying to run me off the road. And it was getting real dangerous after a few miles. And I had a Judge Taurus, which is not illegal in Arizona. And little did I know, here's a good valuable tip if you're carrying a gun. You need to have your gun registered if in California in every county you're driving through. So that's their little
loophole.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and you will do 2.5 years if you are. So that's what they got me for. They found out the guy was crazy. I actually shot the tires out, and it had a shotgun shell, so it sprayed up, hit 3 pellets in the arm. He told them I shot him 3 times for no reason.
Sure.
And so the judge found out, and they just gave me time for assault with a unregistered weapon. So I was so grateful. There's a whole long story with that, but
Yeah.
you know,
When was this? Like in your career?
2014.
Okay. So how long had you been painting prior to that?
4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're just starting to get good. Like, I mean, you know,
I'm at this stage where an artist is now, it's time to sell your art. What is your style? Unfortunately, I learned my style in a cell right when I got arrested.
Yeah.
With the cops putting ARs in the back of my head, and I thought I was going to die. And I'm sitting in the cell, and I'm just like, all I'm thinking of is, what have you done? But not about that situation, because I defended myself. That's all I'm going to say legally, right?
Yep.
But all I was thinking of is, I'm not an artist yet. Like, how am I going to pay for all this stuff?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just starting, and it's like, oh man. So I had to get $1 million. I had $1 million bail. I was fighting 25 to life. They were telling me I was attempted murder, all that stuff. So, long story short, with that, I bailed out with $1 million bail, courtesy of my bail bondsman, which like came from heaven, and he heard my story, saw my stuff, saw my videos, my pictures, and said, "Hey, you don't deserve to be here." And he put up one of his mansions or $1 million houses up. Boom, got me out.
Really?
Yeah, and then right after that, I said to God, "Hey, I'm gonna be the artist you told me to be. I'm sorry. I get the message, because it was like, hey, you know, I put you here for a reason, and you're not doing it,
Yeah.
and so I'm just gonna put you away, you know,
Wow.
just like that." And I was like, and I just cried my head off for a while, and I thought to myself, what is the best way? What can I do? And so I made one painting every day. Every day I made a new painting, sold it for at least double the price. Straight business, right?
Yep.
Double the price, boom. Then it was just, oh, that's all selling. Okay, 400, 500. Within a couple months, it's 1,500. And then my demand is so high because of my hustle.
Hey, real quick, I just want you to do me a huge favor. If you're enjoying the show and you're enjoying all the amazing guests that we've been having on lately, then do me a massive favor and smash the like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe if you have not already. I would greatly appreciate it. It would mean the world to me, and we will be able to bring on a lot more big names if you help us out. Now let's get back to the show. Right.
Because other young ballers are seeing me at 2014, not this time,
Sure.
not in this age.
Yeah.
In the age when nobody was doing it, and I'm out there going to real estate people saying, "Hey, let me help you sell your houses," and they're like, what are you talking about? I can sell a house. I'm like, let's put paintings in your house,
Right.
and it'll encourage the sale. And yeah, it's interior design, but I'm offering the painting to go with the house. And
Sure.
just like the TV shows, right? There's
Yep.
this TV show I like, $1 Million Listings, and they're like, oh yeah, that's cool. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go out there and try to get on the show. And so that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
I met Matt Altman.
Okay.
I was going for Josh, and Matt was very like, hey bro, Josh is real busy. The show's popping right now, but I love art. I love your Superman. What's up with the Superman? And I go, and I'm on my way back to Arizona. Now, this is a fun story. I was on my way back from Arizona while he's texting me, telling me he had seen my Superman painting at an art show that I got into, a $6,000 booth art show. I mean, I never made that much money. I was just starting, and I took a big gamble on this thing. He came out. I said, hey, what's up? Got his number. He loved the painting. He said, hey, what's up with the Superman? And I'm like, oh, shit. As I'm driving, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
As I'm driving back home, he's like, I want that painting. And I'm like, oh,
Matt
damn. Matt Altman.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm like, damn. He's like, okay, so, and that was it. That's all he said. And I'm like, okay, I know what to do. So I got home, boom, the family, I went to sleep, woke up at 3 a.m. and just left back. Not even confirming the deal, not even confirming he would be there, nothing, bro. So I got all the way there, boom, and I just texted him like normal, like, hey, bro, I'm outside, just like with my fingers crossed. He's like, oh, yeah, cool, come up. And I'm like, boom, and there's like a Beverly Hills building, real beautiful. Everything's like, really beautiful Art Deco everywhere. So I come in, and right away they already knew, oh, you're an artist? Well, the Altmans are upstairs. I'm like, oh, cool. Boom, and then Matt loved it so much, and I met Josh. I'm like, what's up? He loved it, and I'm like, yeah, Matt, just here, bro. Can you just put it in one of the houses, and that'd be great. That's all I want. He's like, dude, I could do way better. He actually put it in his office, and it was on the show for that season every day, every episode. It was on there. And so all the realtor guys were hitting me up, look, dude.
Yeah.
And that's how I met Cody Sperber, and he gave me Cody Sperber's info, and then came the Arizona
wave
real estate, like, because I'm more in real estate in Arizona, and I've never sold a house.
Right.
But I helped a lot of people
For
sell
sure.
them. Right?
I remember the Lamborghini painting you did for Cody.
Yeah.
The big one.
Yeah.
Of the white Lamborghini, because I bought that Lamborghini, back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah, from Cody.
That's
and
right.
And I think I told him at one point, I was like, bro, if I buy the Lamborghini, like, I get the painting,
Yeah.
And I can't remember why I didn't get the painting at the time, but but anyways, it's kind of wild, like a wild thing. That Lamborghini painting that you painted was above, because I shared an office with Cody, right?
Yeah.
So me and Cody were in the same, not like office building, but we legit like shared like an actual office, and like there was like his desk. Okay. Which above his desk was that big $100,000, $100 painting or whatever he had, that big green one. I don't know if you
Right, that's from an artist named Mr. E.
Okay, Mr. E, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then above my desk was that Lamborghini one that you did.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's wicked, dude.
I think I have a Mr. E painting. I'll have to show you after the pod.
Well, here's the thing is with my paintings is like I told Pace and all them is like I love to paint something that's like a totem, and that's what it's kind of like. So it's like I program it with a specific thing, like a specific energy, like the Ron Burgundy. It's like I want you to laugh and be funny, but not take away from the painting. Like there's all this thought behind it, and whether it translates or not, no matter what language barrier there is, you will get my humor, you will get the message, no matter what. And that's the beauty of art. And basically that's what I'm like now wanting to do is starting to I want to teach that. Yeah. Because there's so many artists, and then now the AI art's out there, and there's so many digital artists that want to be artists that don't know how to represent themselves, And it's like, well, you got like 200,000 followers and you got like 1,500 likes, but are those likes translating to sales? Right. Is that translating to your legacy?
And a lot of times they're not.
No.
Right? Because 100%. Like you said, like at one point you didn't know how to market it, right? Like you were a good painter, but you didn't know how to sell it. at one point.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And then you learned, obviously, and then you.
Well, the notion too was just like what painting there is and all that. It's kind of like, the same notion as, you got a big old mansion and you get all the likes, but now the mansion's 2 years later and it's still in the market.
Yeah.
And you're not, and those likes are not translating to sales. And I think that that's what other artists and even other salesmen, I think I can give it back now with other like realtors and stuff. It's like, just combat your problems, not with being rich, but really with being creative.
Right.
Be creative with your ideas and your money. If you're stuck with a house and you got an Airbnb, and like I told Pace, it's like, all these people are worrying about the houses that they're stuck with and the Airbnb market. Well, then be creative.
Yep.
There's a lot of antique stores, like make it like India.
Right.
Or make it like, like as Chinese as you can, and make it like you can go and visit there. Almost like the same notion with Michelin star.
Sure.
You know, and people go just to go to this restaurant.
You got to get way more creative, I think, you know? And you got to, because you got to separate yourself, right? And no matter what you do, I think that's true. I love that, dude. So what's like the craziest painting you've ever done?
Okay. Craziest painting.
Like biggest, I don't know, craziest or like biggest, or
I think
just
biggest is like a 100-foot by 25-foot mural I did in Paris, California.
Dang.
Yeah, that was enormous.
A big mural, huh? What, like a building?
Yeah, and the pain in the butt thing is the building, the walls like this.
Uh-huh.
So I had the spray paint.
Oh my gosh.
In between things. Now the biggest problem was, if you're not doing it correct, the eyes and the face won't look good.
Right.
So I had to paint it bigger and do it in a way where it's 3D.
Wow.
So, you know what I mean? Because you're gonna lose the facial features from angles. So
right.
Oh my,
dude, that's wild. What was the painting of?
A bunch of bullies rolling around in a treasure vault of gold.
Wow.
Gold coins. Yeah.
Is it ever daunting, like, to have like the idea in your head and then just look at 100-foot wall and it's like, dude, I gotta take this thing that I have in my brain and like get it on that wall?
Yeah.
It feels daunting to me. Like, I don't even know where I would begin. Like, where do I start?
Well, that's the thing. It's like, it's just fun.
Yeah.
It's fun for me because I don't know either. And I'm like, wow, let's see how this is going to go. And boom, it comes out because I have a lot of fun. I have faith in it, but I watch YouTube shows and I get the proper ideas on what to do, and we make a nice little strategy.
I love that. That's awesome. What's like the craziest, like, or what's like the coolest painting in terms of, like, I don't know, like, like you were talking about, like Superman that went in the Altman's office. You know, was that like one of the? That's probably got to be up there on like the coolest thing you did.
Yeah, one painting I did was the Batman, 1982 Batman. The oh man, I forgot his name right now.
I have no
Got me
idea.
on the spot.
Jacob might know. Jacob doesn't know either.
Michael Keaton.
There you go.
All right, edit me out. Boom. Michael Keaton. So Michael Keaton Batman is number one, right? So ended up with Tom Arnold. Mm-hmm. Tom Arnold was a co-star with Arnold Schwarzenegger in that True Lies movie, and so it was fun. I met him because his wife at the time, she commissioned me to paint his kids. And it was really cool. He did something so cool, man. I went over there. It was a surprise for him.
Yeah.
I met him. He's like, hey, you remind me of Chris Farley. I'm all, thanks.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I'll take it, man. That was so awesome. Like, his studio, his office was full of really cool memorabilia, and he's with old Hollywood like crazy.
Yeah.
And so he actually did a nice little video saying, hey, Jay, thank you for the painting, blah, blah, blah. He did a nice, beautiful video.
Yeah.
And then it was just boom, and then another actor, and then some Hollywood behind-the-scenes people got involved with buying paintings, and
that's awesome.
It's so much fun.
So, and that's probably how you got the paintings to get all the way to Dubai and all around the world, right?
Yeah, actually, that was from... Yeah, I did a cool painting for a guy named... I forget his real name, but it's Watch Anish on Instagram. And so he's got really dope watches. And actually, wait a minute, but that wall mural I did was at the Bully Market.
Okay. If you've ever wanted to get into wholesaling real estate and you want to learn how to flip contracts and wholesale, right? Maybe you're brand new, maybe you've never wholesaled a deal, or maybe you're even doing a couple of deals a month right now, but you want to learn how to do more. Instead of joining my coaching program or somebody else's coaching program, we're actually looking to hire. So go ahead and message me 480-418-5339 and send me a text message opportunity. Okay, so if you want to work with me, you want to work with my incredible team, you want all of our leads, you want all of our systems, all of our processes, everything, right? And I've done about 2,000 wholesale deals in my career. Then go ahead, shoot me a text, 480-418-5339, and message me opportunity. And look, especially if you're in my state, okay, the state of Arizona. If you live in Arizona and you want to get into wholesaling, this especially is an opportunity for you, because you can come sit right in this office with my entire team and be a part of one of the biggest wholesaling companies in the country. I look forward to talking to you.
Okay, so that was at the Bully Market. My buddies out there, Rob Lee at the Bully Market. Those guys, check them out. But what was I saying?
The Dubai, what's his name on Instagram?
Oh, Watch Anish.
Yeah.
So that guy was super cool because I saw a post where he was getting Alec Monopoly paintings and all these paintings from somebody that I knew. So I hit him up on the DM saying, yeah, hey, I was late to that and I forgot to bring my painting. Give me the address so I can send you the paint. Bro, I was on baller mode. I was like, hustle, hustle, hustle. So I hit him up and I said, yeah, I forgot. And he's like, oh yeah, let me check out your work. And he's like, oh, dude, can you make me an Einstein? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, man. So he posted the video, and that's how I got my international clients.
Wow.
I got Dubai, France, London.
That's awesome.
A whole different community there.
When did Alec Monopoly come on the scene? Because the timeline, like, so 2014 is when because how long did you serve in prison? Were you there for a little bit?
Only 2.5 years.
Which isn't bad, right?
Because I was fighting wildfires in North California.
Okay, so 2.5 years. When did Alec Monopoly come on?
I think he jumped in way early, like 2012.
Oh, he did? Okay. So he was around for a minute then.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I feel like I came across you before I came across Alec Monopoly and Mr. E. Like, I feel like I saw your work first, and maybe that's just because I was like in the scene with like Cody and like Josiah and
I think that's when he was pushing too. But the difference is he just did Monopoly Man, and everybody liked that. But I did that plus more cooler stuff, different concepts, because he was super busy. So that's how I got in.
Right. Yeah.
It was just like being friends with all their friends, and no artists literally do not like to talk to each other.
Interesting.
I tried, and
they're just ego, or what do you think?
I think it's more than that. It's more like a competition, kind of like because I get it. Some artists have really high level clients, and they don't want to share that, but they don't understand that that's not the right mentality.
Just collaboration over competition, right?
And there's no collaborations now, you know, like the greatest artists in the 70s, they were all like kind of collabing where they were promoting each other's work, or they would go to parties and do things. Like the guys now are just very, just secluded.
In their own lane.
I found that, and it's not an opinion, because I was just trying to find a way. I was like, hey, I want to learn how to do wall murals and street. And I got no responses. Wow. And it's like, it's a big ego competition. It's oh, you want to learn? Ooh. Yeah. And it's like, wow, okay. So,
I guess I'll go figure it out on my own.
Yeah. And then that was the same attitude when I got to prison. They're like, hey, can you do tattoos? And I'm like, no. And they're like just throwing tattoo guns at you, like, here, practice on me. It's very opposite.
Wow.
And then other tattoo artists like, hey, I want to teach you. You're a badass artist.
Yeah.
And so, dude,
Just
I
such a
learned it
different
all.
ball game. Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you tat a bunch of people in?
Oh yeah,
Really?
Yeah, I made a lot of money in
Wow.
prison, dude.
Was that
I made a lot of money.
Were you painting in there at all, or just doing tattoos?
Okay, so before I got into fire camp, there's these periods when you're transitioning into prison, like the first few months is hell on earth in these like hellish conditions, and then
And why is that?
That's just their way. I
This is
really
the way
don't know.
they do
It's called a where did I go? Wasco,
Okay.
and that's where actually Robert De Niro went.
Really?
Robert De Niro, yeah, Robert De Niro,
I think so.
yeah,
Yeah.
Robert De Niro. No, Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. did time there.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
And he bought all the inmates' TVs basically. So hey, don't kill me. I want to be a GP. I don't want to be
Robert Downey Jr. did time there as a like after he was already famous.
Yeah, he did a drug offense.
Really?
He was big time Hollywood guy and kept getting in trouble for drugs, and the judge said, "Hey, you're going to prison."
Wow.
And
I had no idea.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to be a GP. I'll stay in the GPs."
Yeah.
And so that means general public.
Yep.
And he didn't want to be like going the other way. So it was really cool. So that story was there,
Okay,
and
yep.
I'm like, okay, this is encouraging.
Yep.
I'm gonna make it.
Right.
You know, it was awesome.
But then the
I,
first few months were you said hell on earth.
Yeah, it was hell on earth.
And then it was
'cause-
like different stages, right?
yeah, because I'm in a 2-man cell. You're locked up 23 hours a day. You can only get out 1 hour where you walk around in a circle.
Yep.
In a thing, or you're hanging out with the guys. I'm not a gang member, so there was not. In the beginning, there's not many people you talk to because you don't know their get down or their real language.
Yep.
Right. So you just float along, and the best advice if you're in like drinking and driving, and you don't know. There's a lot of guys that get there on accident.
Right.
So the thing is just be yourself,
Mm-hmm.
because any thoughts you're hiding, everyone can see it.
Wow.
Because that's how close we are. Like
Yep.
imagine, being in a cell, and by the end of these curtains is where the door is.
Right.
And we got to talk all the time, or you're going to read or do your thing.
Yep.
And then probably like 3 to 4 hours, we're going to work out.
Yep.
And then we're going to act real tough when we get out for lunch.
Yep.
Because we have so many different things we got to do.
Right.
Yeah.
It's such an interesting thing.
So that was the scary part. And then, so if you behave and all that, there's a program in California for wildland firefighting. So you go up north and you fight wildfires, and you get your time reduced dramatically.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what they
And
got
you
me
did
up
that?
for. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that we were hiking, and there was so many times where you're hiking up in the woods, where we get helicoptered in 120 miles out. You get helicoptered in the middle, and all these guys are doing it for their families
Wow.
to get home fast,
Sure.
know. And then they're getting paid $1 an hour.
Wow.
But we're getting our time taken
Reduced.
down.
Yeah.
But here's the real major thing is that there's guys in the hood that don't ever see anything like that. They don't ever see anything positive. They
Right.
only see thug life, cops, that's it.
Yep.
And then you see like what a difference that is. The firefighters teach you how to be a firefighter, how to take care of yourself, take care of wildland, take care of people. We're the first line. So if a neighborhood's on fire, we're the inmate firefighters come in, and we're trying to get those stubborn old people that don't want to get out.
Wow.
They're like, no, get off my property.
Yeah.
We're like, nope. And we pick them up and we take them out.
Yeah.
And then there's horses and all that. We had to do that. And basically, with all that, I was able to do graphic design, and I
Okay.
painted in hobby. So that's how I was able to paint. All the supplies I did paintings for the cops.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So they did let you do some painting in there then.
Yeah.
Okay.
They would pay me with canvases.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. So,
And then you did tattoos. Was that nerve-wracking in the beginning? Like
yeah.
they're like, practice on me, you
Well,
know?
imagine how bored you are.
Right.
So you're like, anything, just yes, please,
Yeah.
right? So dudes are like, they can't wait to get tattooed.
Yep.
And in a lot of people's culture, getting tattoos in prison is like the best thing to ever do to prove that you were there, whatever.
Right.
And gang rights, whatever that stuff is, right? We won't talk about that. But I can't do gang tattoos.
Yep.
The only tattoos I'm allowed to do are just pictures and cool stuff.
Got it.
Right.
Yep.
But yeah, it was super popular, man.
Dude, that's awesome.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And we would make ink, make it with CD players,
Really?
rip out the motors.
Yep.
These guys would make it for me. I thankfully never had to learn, but
Yep.
I just made the needles.
That's all you had to do.
Yeah.
So were you technically not allowed to do that? Like,
Absolutely not.
yeah, that's what I figured. Okay.
Yeah, no. And then sometimes if you were lucky, like I probably won't say anything about what the cops did behind there, but they were, you know, there's a whole atmosphere out there, a balance that has to be kept in behind the bars. So, you know, as long as everybody is civil, you know, we won't. They won't get on us, and we won't be bad.
Yep.
Basically, right? So
Interesting.
yeah.
Is it anything like you see in like the movies or the TV shows?
Well, the movies and TV shows, they show not GP stuff. So GP is general population.
Yep.
That's where I was.
Okay.
The stuff you see on the movies is like where like pedophiles and like rapists and all that. So then you get all the lifers and all the mentally ill people.
Okay.
And yeah, that's not with us.
That's a whole nother ballgame.
Yeah, we beat those people up and take them out. No, I'm kidding.
Gotcha. So the GP stuff's probably not quite as like dangerous, like I wouldn't imagine, right?
Yeah, it's
Like
just
being in there,
stay
like-
away from drugs. That's it.
Yeah, for sure.
You'll be fine. Just stay away from drugs, and you'll be fine.
Right.
Just respect other races and respect your race and yourself, and don't do drugs and don't drink.
Yep.
Because they make Pruno and alcohol out of anything out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So just
Wild.
don't party.
Yeah, for sure. So you get out, you're like, dang, dude, like these other guys on the scene have like blown up, you know, and then you just start rocking and rolling.
Yeah, because I just jumped right back in right when I got out, but that's when COVID hit. So, but fortunately, that had no effect with my market.
Yeah.
I think it boosted it because everybody was buying and more people were coming because COVID, they were locked in their house and they want paintings in their house.
For sure.
So it just kept, going up from there.
What's the most amount of money you've ever charged somebody for a painting?
12,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And so what was cool was Pace, when I met him, that he was the last person I sold a painting to before I went to prison.
No way.
And I painted that.
What was his painting?
His painting was of Kanye West.
Kanye.
Yeah.
All right.
That painting I did literally minutes before I went to prison.
No way.
I was painting it all night, just crying that I'm going to prison.
Wow.
Like, imagine what's that going in your head.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was going to camp at that time.
For sure.
I'm like, I'm going to prison.
Yeah.
And I just painted.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to think anymore. Like,
And
it was
how did that
exhausting.
painting turn out?
It turned out amazing. He loved it,
Yeah.
and it just kept growing into more stuff. And then he was the first person to buy a painting right when I got out.
No
so,
way.
Yeah.
You
so-
guys have a special connection.
Yeah. He's real cool, great guy, and just, that's what you got to do. I mean, that's what I learned in there is just, how do you judge a friend, right? How do you judge someone that's a good person, right? Or a friend to you? And it's really like, is this person going to fight with you?
Right.
And that's what I learned in there.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, hey, we're friends. But if all those people in your room that you
Right.
hire turn on us and want to fight us right now, will you turn on me?
Right.
Will you fight with me?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes me like, oh, no, we're cool. We're friends. And that's how you connect in prison. Like, hey, are you a fighter? Are you willing to fight for your words?
Right.
Cool, then we're really cool. Because you're not going to backstab me or snitch on me.
Right.
Or call Nazis on me.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So that's kind of what it boils down to. Like if the whole thing falls apart, are you going to snitch me out to the bad guys? And then that's what I learned with Pace. I'm like, damn, this guy's solid, dude. He's a cool dude.
Pace is the real deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real deal.
He's super dope. What was the second one you painted for him?
Oh, that was the Big Boy and the Outcast painting.
Okay.
It was Big Boy and Andre 3000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Dude, you painted, I at one point, because I had Cody Sperber's house listed for sale,
Okay.
And he had a bunch of paintings. I would always go to Cody's house. And he probably had like 4 paintings of yours, I think.
Yeah,
in
he
his
was one
house.
of my very first legit hardcore collectors.
There was the one dude. Oh man, what was it? It's like two dudes like pointing guns.
Yeah, that was the Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
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 That was the first painting he ever asked me of.
That was the dope one.
Yeah,
he had that in his office.
Yeah.
In his home office. Yep.
Yep. And I had that custom built, the frame and everything. And he's like, hey, because that's when Matt Altman's like, hey, da-da-da. And he looked at my art and he's like, hey, that's really cool, man. I want a Pulp Fiction right away. Bam.
Right.
And then I want it to, on the gun, say clever investor on the guns.
Yeah. So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was awesome. So you had to get the frames custom done for those?
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually, because
you
that
just
one was
paint the
7
canvas,
foot.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, normal sizes, but
Yeah.
his was a custom size.
Got
So
it. Okay.
Anything bigger than 5x4, I get custom made.
Gotcha. Okay. Do you paint it like you stretch the canvas over the frame, or how does that work?
I have the other guy do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I have them do it. It's a huge process.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I bet.
I did it once. My art teacher taught me how to do it because as an oil painter, you have to learn that as a thing. And I'm like, oh man, this took me so long.
Yep.
And then it's not even as good. And I went to Michael's and they're perfect.
Right.
The Michael's canvases are the greatest canvases.
Yep.
I'll tell you what.
So like Mr. E, I think, and like Alec, they started painting like stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like they started painting like not like just stuff to go on the wall, but like everything. Like they started painting like, I don't know, a freaking microphone or whatever.
Yeah,
you know, like
yeah.
have you done a lot of that?
I do, but now I'm getting into more sculptures. So
Okay.
I'm sculpting now. I'm doing more. So what I'll do is get a high density styrofoam, carve it up, and then I throw clay on it. And I did a small little piece, and I got it cast molded, and then I got 4 pieces made, and just made them just to test it, to get the experience. Sold them, and now I'm working on a big one.
Okay.
Big one, because that's what I did before. Was I bought 2 Jaguars that were already made, and I painted Louis Vuitton on one and Gucci on the other. That one blew up.
Really?
Every YouTuber took pictures with them.
Really?
Yeah, while I was down.
No way.
Yeah.
Where were they at?
In 21, I lived in 21 Savage's mansion. 2 weeks before I went to prison.
Okay.
Yeah, so just God was blessing me, and He's like, "Look what you can have," you know. That's how I felt. Like every day was bittersweet. I'm like meeting celebrities. The celebrities wasn't the best part. The best part was meeting the people behind the celebrities, and that felt awesome.
Like, what do you mean by that? Like the people behind them.
The managers, the agents. It reminds me a lot of the real estate game, you know. But I knew that those were the people more to impress versus the celebrities, because celebrities get stuff thrown at them all the time. My notion was I want to go after those guys.
Right.
So
Because if the manager of the celebrity likes you,
manager,
then they'll talk
the camera guys, all the people behind the scenes is what's more important than just the guy.
Right.
You know, because they're in it all the time. Those people meet dozens of celebrities.
Yeah.
So your ROI with those people versus the celebrity themselves, because I've already experienced it, is a lot higher.
Right.
Because I tried to work with a celebrity, and they tried to backpocket me. Like, I'm like, no. I'm here for the clients. You know,
Right.
I'm not here to just.
What was that one mansion that I think it was in Bel Air? It was like they painted it like the whole house was like Louis Vuitton or something. It was like red. You know what I'm talking about?
I do. Yeah.
Like
I
back
met those
in the day?
guys. Yeah.
It was like, dude, literally the whole
Graffiti Mansion?
Graffiti Mansion.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah. I met one of the guys who helped produce it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who painted that thing?
No idea.
No clue.
No, I think it was. The only one that was cool was they did like a whole bunch of foam, and it went all over the house, like colored foam or whatever. But yeah, see, something like that was gonna go on with a celebrity that I was working with, and we were gonna do something within his whole house, but he ended up going to prison too.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's what it was like. Hey, bro, it's cool. I know how it is. So,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So what, like, is the goal then to just get like, what's the goal now, right? Is it like, hey, I wanna take my art and charge more money or get it in the hands of bigger people?
Here was what the great thing was that while I was fighting my case was when my career was activated. I was not an artist. So if a genie came up while I was in prison and right before, I remember saying this to people was, if a genie came up right now and told me, I will take this all away. You won't have to go to prison, but you're not going to be an artist. You know, like it came hand in hand. Like that incident happened and I made my decision. What is my style? This is it. Like everything activated because of this thing.
Wow.
So I had to make $10,000 a month in a time when I wasn't making anywhere close to $1,500 a month. So I was going crazy. And so what I did was I just said to myself, there's this thing called Instagram, and I know that if I just post my pictures, somebody will buy it.
Yeah.
At just a couple $100, I'm just gonna paint them every day. If I make $100-$200 a day, like I really was hopeful.
Yeah.
And like let's just go 4 months later, 5 months later, I'm talking to my bail bondsman. He's like, I can't believe you're doing it. Because my bail bondsman, we had this thing every month I had to go to California to go and go to court. And every time I go to court, they push it back, talk to my lawyers, pay them. Because every month they're like, okay, are you going to court or are you going to jail?
Right.
Are you going to pay us? So every month I'm crying my head off.
Wow.
I'm tortured for like 2 years.
Dang.
But but it was happening, man.
Yeah.
Like literally, oh man, I need $1,000. Boom, a sale would happen. It was just because I'm putting my paintings up. I'm being genuine.
Yep.
All the things my art teacher taught me, I was doing it on Instagram.
Yep.
I was just showing my clients, showing that they got it, showing my process, showing that I went to their house. So if you do all that stuff, people know, hey, I'm going to get my money's worth.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah. So then now, like, I know we talked a lot about, like, you teaching other people and you helping and coaching other people, you know. If you're a real estate agent or a real estate wholesaler, then you know that lead generation is one of the most important aspects to any business. You know that you have to consistently generate leads on a weekly, monthly, and yearly basis. That way your team has people to call, and that way you're constantly getting new opportunities in your company. I actually partnered up with a company called Rocket Lead Services, and they have VAs that are outbound cold calling on your behalf every single day. In my experience, there's a lot of different ways that you can generate leads as an agent or as a wholesaler. You can do pay-per-click, you can drive for dollars, you can do text messaging, you can do Facebook ads, Instagram ads, and so much more. In my experience, I believe that cold calling is by far the #1 way to generate leads in 2022. Not only is it my favorite way, but it is the highest ROI from what I've ever found. So Rocket Lead Services is one of the best companies out there for doing just that. They have virtual assistants that get assigned to you and to you only that are constantly calling motivated sellers to generate leads for your business. Again, this is for anybody looking to generate seller leads for their business. This is for a solo real estate agent looking to do a couple of deals a month, all the way to teams that have over 100 agents and you're looking to generate more leads for your team. Wholesalers that are looking to generate more seller leads, all the way to wholesalers that are looking to do many, many deals per month. Go to www.rocketleadservices.com and go ahead and book your free consultation. Again, that is www.rocketleadservices.com and book your free consultation. Now, let's get back to the show.
Yeah.
Like, what do you kind of want to do now, the next, like, couple of years? Like, what's the goal, you know?
That's the goal, is to focus on a YouTube channel where I can focus on there. I don't think Instagram and social media is the way it was anymore, so I don't feel like people see my stuff as much.
Yeah.
So I have to move on. So I think YouTube's the best move for me.
Yep.
And I think teaching while I'm entertaining would be a really fun way.
Uh-huh. Yeah, very fun. Do you think people can learn, like, you know, you're obviously gifted, you know, like, I think there's certain people who are gifted and they're able, like, for example, like, I could never paint. Like, there's no amount of money you could even pay me to paint. Like, you know, like,
but I just think also, here's a couple things with that. It's just, I honestly think everyone should, I know it sounds cheesy, but everyone should have a canvas and some paints and to have that like a journal or to jog, that should be something for your mind because
Wow.
it's very therapeutic.
Yeah.
Even if you're just painting one color fading into another color, it is so therapeutic. You don't know how many people I've had help me paint, or they watch my painting and they go, "Dude, it's so awesome seeing it." And I just when I hear pain and like these people just committing suicide and all my favorite people,
Yeah.
and like the Green Ranger, man, and it's like, and
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing? I need to share my stuff because every time I get bummed out, I didn't get all bummed out and kill myself when I thought I was gonna go to prison. I thought I was facing 25 to life. I
Yeah.
didn't cry to anybody. I didn't tell anybody. Cody didn't even know.
Yeah.
I had told Cody 2 weeks, like 3 weeks before I went to prison. I'm just crying. He's like, "Bro, what are you crying for?" I'm like, "Bro, goodbye."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Bye, Cody." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" Oh, I'm tearing up.
Yeah.
I said, "Bye, dude." He's like, "Why?"
Yeah.
And I told him. He's like, "Oh man, I'm sorry." Da da da. And he's like, "What can you do?" And all that. And so it was all genuine. And I just I tried really hard to keep it together and just make it. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good, bro. You're
and make it just not like a pity thing. I did it purely like just scaled and grew. I didn't tell anybody nothing. And then just a couple weeks later, I'm like, boom, I gotta go, guys. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah. It's a wild story, bro.
Yeah.
It really is a wild story. I think you could like charge way more for your paintings.
Yeah, I'm sure I can. I can't afford to charge that much now, but I think the major thing, here's a good tip for artists that I want to share, is just like, it's like a pyramid thing, right? Where you got to build your clients little by little. So raise your prices very slow because they're buying. I'm pulling from the void. I'm making nothing. I'm putting it onto a canvas and I'm eliciting emotions.
Right.
I'm going to make you happy from nothing. I'm like a wizard.
Right.
And that power, and there's so many families that commission me paintings and, you make us happy. And I'm like, oh man, it's so like intimidating to me.
Yeah.
Like that pressure that like, that they keep coming back and painting for me or for their family and the loved ones. And so there's a lot behind it. And people take things for granted, and I think that a lot of emotion and things go behind a commission or a sale.
For sure. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that, probably, and I don't know that world, but I think artists definitely charge a lot of freaking money.
Yeah.
Which is all right, I guess. Like, I get it.
But they can't go back. Like, once you go up that price, you can't go back down. So that's why I'm like, you just build that price as slow as possible. My thing was I reluctantly put my prices up. If I'm so busy and I'm like, man.
You're like, I have to do it.
I did it one time. It was like $500 painting. And then somebody asked me again. I'm like, $1,000. And they're like, okay, here's $500 for a deposit. I'm like, oh,
right.
Oh man. Okay, now it's $1,000. So, and then when the market goes down, then you're gonna be floating too. And then what I found was a lot of guys were finding the cash value go down, and they were buying my overall paintings just to hold dollar value. I'm like, oh man, don't put that pressure on me,
For sure, yeah.
But I'm out here. I did a couple TV shows and got out there. We did that triple digit flip.
Yep.
On
A&E. Yeah. What was that all about? Like, what did you do on that?
I just did a few paintings for the houses. They gave me a heads up on the house, and they said, "Here are the colors. Try to do something with it." And I would just paint a couple paintings, put it up, and then they would.
What would you do? What give me an example of like one of the paintings that you did for like one of the houses?
I did Odin.
And
there was like a black and red motif in the house.
Okay.
So I just did everything like a muted color tone, like all my colors, but I just put a little bit of black into everything just to mute it. And it was all like a Viking.
Got it.
But it was a Viking statue of Odin in Norway where he's like his head's down like he's tired. and it just looks super dope. So
Really?
yeah. And then
Dude,
I
I
make
gotta-
shirts out of them and all that.
Do you have pictures on your Instagram? A lot of that?
Yeah. So like this painting
Uh-huh.
was from the show Triple Digit Flip.
No way.
That's the first episode. So I made shirts out of them.
Wow.
You know?
That exact painting right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude,
So,
it looks like
yeah. So I got them printed up, and now I'm making a little shirt line and all that too.
that'll be
So,
dope. Yeah,
yeah.
that'll be really cool. So you've done Triple Digit Flip. How did Pace get you involved with them?
Yeah. Pace was like, dude, you got me this show. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, we were in we were talking to the president of A&E with 8 other people doing a Zoom call, and the president couldn't get his eyes off of that painting in the background. He just kept looking at it while everyone was talking, and while there was people talking, he just kept staring at it. And they eliminated 5 of the people right away that day, and then they were supposed to have some like a competition between each other to talk or whatever. What did you call it? Like a elimination or something?
Yeah, that's what it would
Between
be.
the 3 of them, but they shut the 2 guys out right away because the painting stuck in the guy's head.
Wow.
In the president's head. And he's like, well, let's just make the show with these guys. They're fun, that energy. And Pace is like, dude, you told me about that. I'm like,
The
wow.
painting, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, really? He's like,
Dang.
yeah, bro, thank you so much. I'm like,
The webcam was just like right on the painting.
yeah.
Wow, that's
right
wild.
behind, so.
Which one was that one? Because you did
That's the Outcast painting.
the Outcast painting.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to look.
So-
I'll have to find a picture of that one.
Yeah, and then that painting also got him partnership with something with him, and
Yeah.
we got some cool stuff coming up, so we'll see.
So what you're saying is that I need one of your paintings so I can get my next TV show or whatever we're gonna do. in the future,
Absolutely.
you know?
Hey.
Get on the big Zoom call that I've been waiting for.
That's what it's
and-
all about.
Yeah.
See, and that's my mantra. I tell everyone, I'm here to enhance, not to take.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
love that.
I'm here to enhance your life. Whatever you got going on, let's make it pop.
I have a big money painting. I forget who painted it. I'll have to ask, you'll probably know, and I'll show it to you in a minute. It's in my office. It's like a big $100 bill.
Okay.
It wasn't. I don't think it was Mr. E. It might have been Mr. E. But I'll have to see.
Yeah, I do a lot. I do money paintings, but I'll customize it more.
Yeah.
And all that. I like my little money series.
Do you?
Yeah.
I would like to get the money. The money stuff is cool. I like though, when it's customized.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, it's not just like
Just for
$100
you.
bill.
Mhm,
Yeah, I like that a lot. Dude, well, I love it, bro. I think that
Cool.
we got to do a lot more stuff together, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna be coming back. The action is all spread out. It's no longer just in California. So
You're everywhere.
yeah, bro,
Yeah.
we're out.
And we're getting big now too. So, you know,
Sweet.
like
I
I've
can
got a
see
lot
that.
of people in our organization, you know.
Yeah.
I got to slap some art up and
Hey, that's the thing. If I can't find a circle of friends of artists, I got a nice little circle of friends of realtor ballers, and
yeah.
we're all coming up, man.
You know a lot of real estate dudes.
Teach me your ways, and then eventually I'll be able to get into the market.
I
right?
love that, bro. Yeah, start flipping and
Yeah,
the whole thing, dude.
that's what
I
I wanna
love it,
do.
bro. Well, I appreciate you being on, man.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank
is
you.
is there anything like one tip? What would be like just your biggest thing if you were to give a piece of advice to like a new up and coming painter, up and coming artist, somebody trying to like, go big? What would be that one thing?
I would say break down your process. Separate your creativity of your painting and the business aspect and the creation, because you have to organize, and I really can't say one thing. Just really make sure to document, okay? Document your steps, document your customers, document everything. Don't be shy. Just document.
I love that.
And talk directly to your customers and be genuine.
I love that. That's good advice.
Thank you.
That's awesome, dude. Where can people find you?
Just find me right now on my website, www.mantraartstudio. My Instagram is jay.v.art.
jay.v.art. I love that, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been following you for some time. I gotta go look. You haven't been popping up on my thing though.
I know,
but
I'm
I
shadow
hate,
banned.
Dude, IG's horrible, bro.
Dude, I got shadow banned for painting El Chapo.
Really?
Yeah. That
Wow.
means now that if you paint El Chapo, that means that you're apparently supporting human trafficking and
Wow.
all that. I'm like, wow.
Who bought the El Chapo?
A client in where did he come from? I think Colombia or something.
Okay, that makes sense.
Hey, you
Yeah,
know?
hey, it is what it is.
But that's the difference. Is just the international from before and now is all my international people are not on Instagram anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it sucks.
Well, at least they know who you are, though. Now.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Yeah, you don't.
I
Need
got
to-
my clients.
Right, you got the book.
That's
you got
right.
the book. I love it, bro. I appreciate you being on, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, if you're still watching, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you drop a comment down below. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're listening, we would appreciate if you'd leave a 5-star review. Definitely go follow Jay and let him know where you came from. Appreciate you being on, Jay.
Thank you, man.